The very thing that made the American dream what it was upward mobility, but also upward reward, a second car, vacations, and then my age cohort just buying stuff all the time, stuff we didn't need.
Yeah.
Houses that we didn't need the amount of square footage for to live in, but we ended up filling them anyway with stuff, and that made us miserable. So now we're at a point where, again, as Pew mentions, 2/3 of us are to some degree disengaged or unhappy doing something meaningless at work. So the question we pose in this episode is a provocative one as a result. And we ask, can work make you healthy? So my question to you is, how can we make work healthy?
Well, I love provocative questions. That brings out some great conversation and ideas. And I thought about this question a lot over the last couple of days, and my true belief, and I guess the reason why I've got a drive for Sway and the things that we work on, is that I truly believe that work as a medium is the purest way, and perhaps the only way to think about actually discovering health. That's how significant I think it is.
Okay, that just knocked me off my pegs. That's profound.
I'll buckle up. I'm going to explain why. So my theory on life is that there's 4 parts to the being. You have your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual, and they're quadrants. And together they come together to make the person. And work as a medium, because it's what we do, right? Work doesn't necessarily mean you may not get paid for work. It could be homework, it could be housework, it could be a hobby. You're working at a hobby. Predominantly by volume, we spend a lot of time in work that we get paid for. So it's all work. It's what we do. What I was struck by, if you take the physical as an example, we just did a big piece of market research for Sway and trying to uncover the real the problem that people had, and does our solution to Sway solve that problem? And one of the things that we uncovered is that people are so entrenched in their perspective on work and how they approach that they will absolutely, the first thing they're going to forego to spend an extra couple of hours in the office or on a commute is going to be working out. Now that might seem kind of quite trivial, like maybe it's a yoga class or a run, but over time that's a trend, and that's a trend towards physical health. So people are foregoing their physical health. So we're knocking out one quadrant here. Because my perspective is I must spend more time on FaceTime at the office, or putting out the most immediate fires or low value tasks, because that's what's super important. I'm going to forego the working out component. When the reality is that your physical health is a source of energy, and it's a source, it connects. The quadrants all connect. And if one's out of balance, they're all out of balance. So what if you were to work flexibly and integrate some kind of a workout routine? Maybe it's a run once a week or a couple times a week. You will earn the energy back tenfold over. That will make you way more productive in the work and the value that you do put in. That's the difference between energy and time. We often think about I can be in the office 12 hours a day, but what if you work for 8 hours a day and you are much more productive and successful? So, but that's your perspective on work, right? And that's ultimately in that one quadrant, how it absolutely fundamentally affects everything that you do, just by prioritizing the physical aspect of working out and how does it relate to your energy levels and how you approach everything. So that's one side of it. And the other side is the emotional side. The other quadrant is your emotions. How do you feel about things? How do you fit in your life? And how do you see things? And again, we go back to work, 3 hours on a commute, that could be 3 hours you could be spending with your family members, or doing a hobby or something that adds value to you outside of your 9-to-5 job. And again, that's a source of energy, which is a source of balance, which is meaning. And then what does that do? It comes back to you and it electrifies you. It allows you to be way more productive in your work life. Spirituality is the same thing. That looks different for every person. And mentally, it's the same thing. You could be stressed and burnt out at work, or you could approach it in a balanced way. So to wrap that up, what I would describe this as, and the way we talk about it at Sway, is that there's 3 things in the equation of work. There's the worker, that's you and I. It's the work being done, and it's the workplace where the work happens. The workplace and the work being done, they're inanimate. They don't live and they don't breathe. They don't make decisions. They're things that we choose to move around to create value. So the only thing that you have there is the worker. I'm a person, I'm a being, I'm a body. And the way I interact with work and the work being done in the workplace is through my perspective. So to sum that up, in my crazy way that I look at this, your perspective, you own it. It's your filter of how you approach work. And that's totally under your purview because it's your personal filter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at that filter and see what's in there and take control and responsibility for it, you can absolutely think about how you approach work in a way that brings you health in many, many ways. So for me, for those reasons, it's the purest medium and form for achieving health in life. So it absolutely can make you healthier.
I want to go